Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? A gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It is Friday, January 10th. It's 3:48 in the a.m. I'm late this morning. I'm late because I overslept. I'm late because I'm a little under the weather. You can hear it. I'm super congested. I'm coming down with a cold. Or it may just be allergies based on these Santa Ana winds. It's been really nice in the Bay Area. But at the same time, there's fires in Southern Cal, and me being me, the runt of the litter, I have everything. I have asthma. I have severe allergies. Yeah, I'm a ear, nose, and throat disaster. Well, eyes, ears, nose, and throat disaster. Again, I'm the runt of the litter, so if there's anything to be had, I'm going to get it. Yesterday, it's been a week from hell. I need to say that. I've been pulled in every direction as far as work is concerned. I've been procrastinating as far as the new year is concerned. You know, I just don't want to do too much of anything. How about that? But I'm trying to stay motivated. I'm trying to stay helpful and hopeful. How about that? Anywho, yesterday. I'm going to concentrate on yesterday because I learned a valuable lesson in just watching something transpire. And it was a little thing, but here I am with a lesson about it this morning. You know, God uses the foolish to confound the wise. It's that kind of message. So here's the deal. So I went and got my ears lowered yesterday. I got my fade done. Got the waves popping today. You can see. Yeah. Yeah, I had to get rid of that helmet hair. So as I'm sitting in the barber chair, you know, the barbers are some young dudes. They're in their 30s, so they tickle me whenever they have a conversation. I'm kind of having this mental laugh. So there's always this back and forth banter between the last 3 chairs in the shop, and I know all these dudes. When I come in, I call them by name. I acknowledge them by name, you know, and I just listen. And, you know, every so often I'll have something to add to their conversation. But for the most part, I just listen. So as I'm sitting in the chair, 2 of the barbers get into an argument that got a little heated. The NFL stuff was on, and I stopped watching the NFL when Kaepernick was blackballed. And just like, you know, I was already on the verge with their October pink stuff. What does a pink football and you wearing pink cleats have anything to do with breast cancer awareness? Because I know you're going to do the bare minimum. Let me give you an example of the bare minimum that I heard yesterday. You know, you got the wildfires in Southern California. Now there's a couple, 2, 3 very large sports teams in Southern California. And there was an announcement made that one particular team donated to help fire victims. And they donated the whopping total of $250,000. Now, if you think about how big the NFL is and how much revenue they garner from a Super Bowl commercial, $250,000 is an insult. You know, keep it. That's pocket change to you. Keep it. Yeah, because a lot of homes have burned. Now, there are a lot of rich people in that area. Yeah. And I understand the devastation of a fire. But $250,000. Okay, now, comparison and contrast. Actress Jamie Lee Curtis gave $1 million. Can you imagine what it's like for somebody who lives in that area to be able to write a check for $1 million and say, hey, okay, that part, $250,000 as opposed to $1 million. For me, that was kind of like the argument that was taking place in front of me. So the argument that was taking place in front of me was about who declared for the draft. So they're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. One dude finally is like, hey, you don't listen. You were sitting in a conversation that we had earlier, and you interjected. This is what we were talking about. Now here you are asking again. You don't listen. So the brother who was accused of not listening said, well, I didn't hear, so I asked the question. Is there anything wrong with asking the question? And then it got heated from that point because the dude kept saying, you don't listen. It's like, so, they answered the question about 2 minutes ago. And here you are asking it again. So now the brother who was accused of not listening is getting real defensive. And he's trying to prove his point. If I ask the question, there's nothing wrong with asking a question. I didn't hear or I didn't understand and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I'm asking a question just so I get clarity. He's going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. The brother said, we were just having this conversation. You spoke on it. And the one who was being real defensive finally proved the other person right. Because in his presentation of his defense, he said, I wasn't paying attention, so I asked the question. Boom. You weren't listening. And you're still not. Now you're in the position of defense mode. That sound like your life? Yeah, I said I was going to keep this real raw 100, an autobiographical man, and I'm, this new year, baby, I told you I'm coming for everything they said I couldn't have. I'm coming for everything that I know is mine. I don't have to get defensive. I don't have to get loud. I don't have to argue with you. I'm coming because God said I could have it. God gave it to me. So now I'm going to pick it up. So that being said, all the silliness of the argument, and the brother on the defensive, and the brother presenting that, hey, I wasn't listening, but still going hard, reminded me of something in my life. I shared this before and I'm going to share it again because I can acknowledge that I was wrong. And I'm going to say that I was wrong. And I'm going to publicly say that I was wrong because 2025 is the year of accountability. And we're going to have that in order to survive 2025. Because a lot of things are coming down the pipe that we're not going to be prepared for. So, here's the details. So, in, past couple of years, we're going into 3 now, I had an experience that awakened me to who God is and how God moves and how God takes certain situations to make you, while you feel like it's breaking you. Had a close connection. And the connection told me, who they were, who they thought they were. And I started seeing things differently. It's not lining up. It's not lining up. The math ain't mathing. And, I gave it a pass based on what you're telling me. Pass. Then I get an answer. And I'm fed up. I can't show my work, as the math teacher would say, but I got the answer. And I can't show my work because how I got to this didn't add up. But I got the answer. And in that pain and confusion, the person was demanding truth. But here's the truth, baby. This is where we are. The apology was, I'm sorry that you think I hurt you. Then it proceeded to list, but what about this? What about when you did that? What about when you did this? What about... That's not the conversation I brought up. The conversation I brought up was this particular thing. We can get to that, but that has nothing to do with what I just brought up. I said, we can visit this conversation, but it's only convoluting the problem to deflect from here we are. How many times have you engaged in projection and deflection? How many times have you engaged in untruths? And see, we get to projection and deflection because we have the truth and we don't like what we see. We can't show the work, but we got the answer. Baby, when the math ain't mathing, you can't go on to the next problems, the next set of equations, because you never learned how to do the work. Think about that lesson as you go into your weekend.